Something big just leaked out of the WNBA, and it's causing absolute shockwaves. Phoenix Mercury guard Sophie Cunningham, one of the league's most outspoken and fearless voices, has reportedly been warned by WNBA officials to keep quiet or face consequences. What was she saying that scared them so much? Why would the WNBA want to silence one of its own players? And what truth is the league so desperate to hide? This isn't just drama. This is about control, power, and truth inside a league that's already under fire for how it treats its own players. Let's break down what really happened and why this story could change the WNBA forever. Scene 1. Sophie's fearless personality. To understand why this leak matters, you have to know who Sophie Cunningham really is. She's not your typical WNBA player who reads from a PR script. She's fiery, unfiltered, emotional, and real. She says what fans are thinking. She plays with heart, hustle, and attitude. And she's never been afraid to call out anyone, whether it's her opponents, her own team, or even the league itself. That's exactly what's made her such a fan favorite, but also what's made her a problem for WNBA officials who prefer their stars to stay quiet. It all started a few weeks ago. After another controversial game, full of questionable calls, physical play, and frustrated players, Sophie didn't hold back. She spoke openly about inconsistent officiating, unequal treatment, and the league's double standards when it comes to star players like Caitlin Clark versus the rest of the league. She said what many players have whispered privately, that certain players get protection while others are left to fend for themselves. She questioned why the WNBA constantly talks about empowerment, yet punishes players who speak their minds. And that's when the warning came. According to sources close to the situation, a confidential memo was sent to the Phoenix Mercury organization. In that memo, WNBA officials reportedly warned the team about Sophie's public comments and urged them to reinforce professionalism and discretion. In plain English, tell Sophie to stop talking. Insiders claim that league executives were furious about her remarks, not because they were wrong, but because they were too real. Sophie was exposing what many around the WNBA have been trying to hide: the tension, the favoritism, the politics, and the growing divide between players. Here's the thing about Sophie Cunningham. She doesn't care about optics. She cares about fairness. She's been in the league long enough to see how things really work. She's seen the behind-the-scenes pressure on referees. She's seen players punished for speaking out. And she's seen how some voices are amplified, while others are silenced. So when she called it out, it wasn't random. It was intentional. She was standing up for herself and her peers who feel like they can't say a word without risking a fine, suspension, or reputation hit. That's why this warning wasn't just about one player. It was about sending a message to everyone. Speak up, and you'll be next. When fans got wind of the leak, social media exploded. On X, formerly Twitter, fans rallied behind Sophie with hashtags like hashtag #LetSophieSpeak and hashtag #TruthHurtsWNBA. Many pointed out the hypocrisy that the WNBA constantly promotes authenticity and empowerment, yet silences women when they're honest. One fan wrote, "So they love strong women until those women start telling the truth." Others said this proves what's been obvious for months, that the league is trying to control its image at all costs, especially as more stories involving Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Aja Wilson dominate headlines. Because in this new era of fame, ratings, and sponsorships, the WNBA wants to look perfect. And truth? Truth doesn't always fit the PR narrative. The WNBA's relationship with players has never been more complicated. Caitlin Clark's arrival brought in millions of new fans and corporate deals, but it also exposed the internal cracks, favoritism, resentment, and jealousy between players and management. Now, when someone like Sophie calls that out, the league sees it as a threat. It's the same old story. Speak up, and you're unprofessional. Stay quiet, and you're a team player. But fans aren't buying that anymore. They want transparency, not censorship. They want accountability, not media spin. After the leak, Sophie has gone unusually quiet on social media. No cryptic tweets, no comments, nothing. That silence? It says everything. She knows the league is watching. She knows one more truthful quote could cost her big time. And that's exactly why fans are so angry, because a player like